But it's not an isolated case. The woman buried here in Houston, Texas, Joyce Vaughn, was another one of the so-called miracle cures at a Benny Hinn crusade.
Pastor, this lady had lung cancer. She was in this wheelchair. As you were ministering, she felt a heat come on her chest. Now she breathes freely, no pain whatsoever. She's been healed by God's power this morning.
Her daughter Jackie says Joyce too was persuaded to turn her back on her doctors.
One of the staff had told her she did not need her medicine anymore because Benny Hinn says she was healed.
What did her doctor say when she decided then that she was not going to have the chemotherapy?
He was very upset because she needed the chemo. She needed it. And if God was going to heal her, she would be healed either way. And she fought with that. She tried to call them for questions, the staff at Benny Hinn.
You know the case of Joyce Vaughn, the Houston woman?
I'm sorry, no, tell me about her.
Joyce Vaughn did come on your platform and was presented as having a miracle cure of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
She died. Before she died, to the distress of her doctor, she said she'd been instructed by your staff not to go ahead with her chemotherapy.
That is absolutely untrue.
She called to ask them questions because she was so uncertain about everything. No one returned the calls. She never could get a hold of anybody. And so by the time that she decided to go back and take the radiation, it had grown.
Did her doctor believe that if Joyce had gone on with the chemotherapy, the cancer may have been beaten?
Oh yeah, or stayed in remission at least.
Doesn't that worry you that in fact her life may have been shortened, having fallen under the spell of this?
It bothers me if a staff of mine told her to quit medication or chemotherapy. I have never said that to anyone.
I can tell you here under the anointing, it will never come back. You will never, ever, ever.
When Benny Hinn's show moves on, he doesn't get to see the sadness of the families left in his wake. Laura Twilley's daughters write to their mother every week, still trying to understand how she could die after her miracle.
On one side, Laura was telling them that I'm healed. You know, Mommy's better. I'm not going to need the chemo and the radiation. But yet, on the other hand, when she died, that was the hardest thing for me to do, is to walk in that night and tell the girls that their mother was gone. You know what we're going to do? What are we going to...
Send these to Mom.
Wait a minute, not yet. But why are we going to send them up to Mommy?
Because we love her.
Okay, let go, girls. There they go. Let go, Sarah. Let go. What is the hardest thing, and I don't think he understands this, is when he puts up this hope, this expectation, and yet it doesn't come through. When the cameras are turned off and the lights are out, and he's out of the building, you're left there all alone by yourself. And you have to pick up the pieces and move on.